what are factors? What are highest common factors? How do we work all this out? Find out in today's video. What is going on, guys? This is Mr. Ryan shooting it, and I am back with another video. And in today's video we are going to learn how to find the highest common factor of two numbers. But before we can achieve this objective, we first need to understand what a factor actually is. So a factor is a number that divides into another number without a remainder. So an example of this is simply as follows. 2 is a factor of 4, and this is because 4 can be divided by 2, which makes 2, and therefore that means 4 is a factor of 2. However, there's a little bit more to it, as numbers can have more than one factor. And let me show you a quick example of how this works also. So let's take the number 16 for example. So the number of 16 has the following factors: 2, 4, 8, and of course 16. And as you can see, it has more than one factor. And this is because 16 can be divided by all of those values. So 16 can be divided by 2, and it can be divided by 4, and it can be divided by 8, and of course it can be divided by itself, which is 16. So with that explanation done, I think you guys are ready for a little quiz. So for this first quiz, all I want you to simply do is list all of the factors of 12. Good luck. And if you guys were paying attention, and I'm sure you all were, you would have got the following numbers: 2, 3, 4, 6, and of course 12. So you've probably noticed that the number 1 hasn't actually been included in any of our lists. Why, do you ask? Well, it's quite simple really. 1 is literally the factor of every number, so we don't actually need to include the number 1. So in the maths rule of maths, we normally start with the number 2 and carry on from there. Anyway guys, we're now going to move on to the highest common factor. Now the highest common factor is very, very simple really. It's simply finding the highest factor of two different numbers that are exactly the same. But instead of giving you the definition, you know what I always say? Let's do an example. So I might get asked this typical question at school. Find the highest common factor of, let's say, 10 and 20. So all we would do to answer this is first list all the factors of 10, which in this case is 2, 5 and 10. And then below that we would list all of the factors of 20, which is as follows: 2, 4, 5, 10, and of course 20. So what I would then do next is circle the numbers that match on both lists. So in this case we can see that 2 is there, 5 is there, and 10 is there. Then finally we identified the highest number in both lists, and you guys know what I'm going to say, it is 10. This therefore makes 10 the highest common factor of those numbers. So that's all there is to it when it comes to finding the highest common factor. So I think it's time for a quick quiz. So all you guys need to do for the quiz is to find the highest common factor of 20 and 40. Good luck. And if you guys were paying attention, which I'm sure you all were, you should have got the answer of 20 as the highest common factor. So anyway guys, we've reached the point in the video where it's time for the grand finale quiz. But for today's grand finale quiz, there's going to be a little bit of a twist to it. So Mr. Ryan Jr. on one side of the screen is going to put some questions on based on finding the factor of, let's say, 4 different numbers. And then on the other side, he's going to put another 4 questions where you have to find the highest common factor of 2 different numbers. I hope that makes sense. So without further ado, let's crack on with it. And I'm guessing you guys got all of those correct, and if you did, congratulations, you are now highest common factor masters. Anyway guys, that is it for today's video, but don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.